Hi everyone, it's Giselle with another message. This one is regarding a very popular question that I receive during sessions that I do for people, and it is the question of, should I contact my twin flame when you are not in open communication? And this video is going to give you a very good guideline. It will apply to everyone, but of course, when you have a personal reading with me, we will investigate more in depth the energies surrounding you, surrounding your twin, the situation and all that. But as a general guideline, I know not everyone can have readings. Some people just want to get some quick advice through videos. So as a general guideline, what I would like to say to that question is, it is always important to check in with yourself and the energies that you are broadcasting first and foremost before you attempt contact. Because when you send a message to them, regardless of what it says in words, if your energy is that of anxiety, of sadness, maybe even depression, then they are going to be receiving not only your message as in the text or voicemail that you're sending, but they will also receive the energies whether they believe they are open to this or not. Now, as an empath, I can tell you this is a real thing. When people contact me, I receive their energy, and when people have contacted me in the past with very negative energies, I pick up on that straight away, whether they're saying words to me that allude to that or not. They can just send me a small short message just saying the word hi, and I'll pick up on it. This is why, if you've watched my videos going back a few weeks, I've had to actually tell someone that I could no longer work with them because the negative manifestation was way too strong, and I did direct them to somebody who is more in alignment with what they are seeking, because I was not able to further help them in the way that I felt was the best for them. So please be mindful and careful when sending messages, because they will pick up on your energy. It's almost like writing out a letter to them and then sealing it with a kiss and spraying some perfume on it. You know, the scent of aggravation, of anxiety is very, very prominent, and they will be able to pick that up. I know it's a weird analogy, but that's the best way that I can try and explain it to maybe somebody who doesn't or isn't quite familiar with how energy transference works. Whether people are aware that they are sensitive to this or not, it is a thing. It is a thing. I mean, a lot of clients of mine who are not in the twin flame community will come to me and say, oh, I went to this place and I felt awful. What was that? And of course, it's because they're sensitive to the energies, and they may not be as well versed in distinguishing all the different energies as I am, because I've been working with this as an empath since birth, and people who may be awakening later on in life, you know, it's like someone who's been practicing any kind of skill since birth. You're going to be more fine-tuned and advanced to an extent. But we all, I believe, especially if you've recognized that you're a twin flame, we are all intuitive. Our gifts may differ, you know, people may be more clairvoyant than others, or, you know, more clairsentient than others, but I know my gift is that of energy reading and feeling, and also healing, which means that I definitely pick up on these, and I will say that your twin will do to a certain extent. Please be careful about what you're sending out to them. You may not even be doing this via message. You may just be thinking about them and staying in their energy. And as you are connected through the spiritual plane, a lot more than you may be with other people, they will certainly pick up on that whether you send them a message or not. So the first tip I can give you is please check in with your energy before you press send, or whilst you're even creating your message. Also, be clear about what it is that you're saying. Don't go around the houses. Don't beat around the bush. You need to be very, very clear, very concise. Say it in a very eloquent manner so that they cannot misconstrue what you are trying to say to them. Because as somebody who really, really values correct, open and honest communication, I can tell you that people being not clear at all about the message that they're wanting to convey does irritate. This is not just with, my work as a spiritual coach. This is also me in business, me at work, anything really. Being direct is just part of who I am and of the type of work that I've decided to conduct in my life. It would I liken it to receiving a message from a lecturer at university, having maybe corrected one of my essays or reports, and them not being clear. They're saying, well, you could improve in this area, but not actually showing me what area it is that I need to improve upon, because there's a lot of topics being covered, and if they don't say you can, help yourself by reading this and this of this chapter and, looking at maybe referencing better, I wouldn't know what in the world if they just said, oh, you've got a B minus, for example, but I'm not going to really tell you why. That wouldn't help me, you see. So I really value directness and honesty and openness, and so does your twin, because having to read between the lines is not going to do either of you any favors. I know that, I can read people's energies, but they may not be able to really get what you mean, and it will confuse them to no end and get on their nerves. So be very clear and think very carefully and be very open. Basically, send them what you would want for you to receive. Do you want them to be very vague and speak in riddles? No, I'm sure that you would appreciate a true, open and honest conversation with them, so you must send that out to begin with. Excuse me. And also, another point, I think this is the third point, I haven't really counted, to be fair. I would say, send the message out without any expectation. As in, whether they reply or not, it will not rattle you or bother you or make you feel bad. But were they to respond, it would make you feel happy and smile. But you're going to be happy regardless of response or not. I guess the way you would approach it is, I'm sending you this message just because I want to, because I love you, and that's it. But wouldn't it be nice if you sent me one back? But then don't sit there pining and biting your nails and oh, please send me another message back, because that is codependency and that is not going to serve you. Communication between twin flames is different, very different from regular, ordinary connections. It's very intense, very direct, but it can be very beautiful once you have figured out a healthy balance of how to communicate. Because you're not just going to be reading words on a page or words on a screen. These are going to be fully loaded with emotion, with connection, with energy. But the best way, if you feel that you must send them a message, the best way that you could possibly be about it is to get yourself in the highest, most happy vibration possible. I would use the energy of my dog because she is so unconditionally loving that I cannot help but be bursting with love myself when I sit in her energy. Then I would write what I mean, and then I would send it without any expectation. But if I did get a response, I would expect only the very best. You see, you cannot send these messages out with a codependent energy, with an I need this from you. And yes, it makes total sense that, as you know, it's only, you could argue it's only good manners to respond to someone's message. But what I've seen, and the reason why communication between twin flames can often be like pulling teeth in the beginning, or even down the line, depends what kind of dynamic you've got going, is because the other party is so overthinking this, and oftentimes not energetically ready for the intensity that this connection brings, that it is like pulling teeth. But as long as you do it with no hidden agendas of, I'm only doing this because I want you to message me back and make me happy. If you can send it out of the energy of, I just want to send this to you just because, and I don't want anything from you, I just want you to know this, then you'll be able to communicate far more easily. And also, it doesn't hurt to visualize and emotionalize the feeling you want to receive when you do have fluent and easy communication between you. And I know it can be quite exhausting to some people, but this is no ordinary connection, and this is what you've chosen. So, along with the unconditional love comes a whole new way of communicating. And even people who are in a quote-unquote normal relationship, who communicate on a daily basis, they can be misconstruing the messages and clashing so much, even with regular communication, that it feels like awful hard work anyway. So just because you're not in regular communication does not mean that, you know, a normal relationship won't have the same problems. They may well be sending each other regular messages, but it could also be like pulling teeth in the sense that they're not actually open and honest and true about what they're wanting to say to each other. But the best way to get communication flowing is to work on your self-worth, self-love, and sending without neediness or expectation, but expecting the very best. I know this is a tricky journey. I completely empathize and understand you because I have gone through the same. But I want you to know that you are not alone, and there are many going through the same with you. But this is because we've all wanted to come together and be on this twin flame journey. We've chosen this. So I hope that this video has helped you. If you'd like to connect with me, then my details are in the link. Thank you all so very much for watching, and have a beautiful day. Namaste.